We bid you the greetings, for the Depths of Gaming show is live. Episode 41.
Greetings, comrades, in this New Year's Eve, 4 hours away from the New Year.
Indeed, because he's in the future, so he experiences that before us normal people.
Sadly, we have some sad news.
Yeah, we're gonna get to sad news. The sad news is not going to be fun. It is going to be.
But first, some gaming news.
Well, it's all gaming news, but
Yeah,
but
true.
there is sad gaming news as well. Iron Harvest is showing off a tech demo. Well, it's a tech trailer actually, and it shows off their destructible cover system, how their mechs move around, and the thing is, it's the 1920s, so there's not so much in the ways of automatic weapons, and that's something that severely hampers modern real-time strategy games, because you instinctively want a lot of units, but the game doesn't make it possible.
If you want a lot of units, I believe that Total War Warhammer would be good.
Yeah, like a
Because,
Total War game. A Total War game is going to give you a lot of units.
Pretty much.
And so, in Iron Harvest, you're fighting out the conflict, and they're mecha that serve as the tanks in this war, and they're these large bipedal things with guns, and it's quite satisfying to watch them move around. They're like rocket launcher powered armored things that they show off in the trailer. It's essentially a redressing of Company of Heroes.
I see.
Which is fine, because Company of Heroes, a lot of people suggested that it was a good game, even though it really was just a reuse of the Dawn of War engine. So, yeah. And Dawn of War was a far better use of the engine. So, on to news about a douchebag.
Oh yeah.
That's
son of a bitch.
An utter douchebag.
It's a shame that we have to end the year on such a fucking downer on our show.
It's unfortunate, and we can't. This isn't something that I could ignore. I tried to for a little bit, and then I realized no, this is kind of what we need to talk about, because this is something that's been happening for far too long, which is swatting. There have been
it's basically a fashion. People realized, oh, I can use police to kill people, and that's basically what they do now. It's basically a new way of yelling fire in a crowded theater.
Absolutely, it's a new way of abusing, of crying wolf, of abusing authority, and so what they do is they figure out someone's real life address while they're streaming, and then the people watching the stream get to watch as the person is taken down by the cops. And in a lot of cases, it just leads to an arrest, and they typically get the caller as well. But there's this one guy, Swatistic, who has been doing this for far too long. They consider him a swatting specialist.
I mean, how the fuck is this guy not like...
That's what confused me.
Yeah. He advertises that he's a swatter. He's doing this regularly. How the fuck this police didn't put him in jail yet?
Yeah, it took a
He's an active threat to other people.
Yeah. And so the reason they arrested him a couple days ago is because he swatted a guy in Kansas because he was in a beef with this other guy, and the other guy went to him and said, "Hey, swat this person in Kansas."
Mm-hmm.
And there are records of this online. So they show up at his door. I believe, like there was like a hostile kidnapping or something called in. So
yeah,
they were.
He was basically what he did. He said that he shot his father, and he has his mother and his sister in a closet at gunpoint, and he wants to kill himself and set the entire house aflame.
Absolutely. So they called in something that nobody is going to go in cold for. Like they were expecting heavy armed resistance. And
he told them that he has a gun and he's not going to put it down.
Absolutely. So there was not really a situation where the cops were going to go in.
Yeah, this is all the information. Yeah, this is all the information the cops were going on, and then they went to him and they called him the guy out, right? So that he stood in the front door. He looked around. He saw like police officers, right? And they're giving him commands. Say, "Come to us with your hands raised," right?
Yeah.
He puts his arms up, walks a couple of feet, puts his arms down. That's fucking stupid, right there. When police tells you put your arms up, you put them up, and they stay up there.
Yeah, they keep up. You're not supposed to drop your hands.
To be fair, the guy who got killed was an idiot as well, because you do not. You follow the directions of the police to the fucking letter.
Absolutely, because they're fucking crazy. They are drunk on power. They are going to do anything they want. You have to be very careful when cops have a gun raised, because they are going to use it.
Yeah, according to the police officer who was reporting on that later, he said that he put the hands up, put them down. They told him again, put the hands up, so he did, and put them hands down again, right? And then he saw police coming from the west side of him, and he reached his hand there, right? Because I guess he saw a gun and he wanted to basically say, stop, don't shoot, right?
Yeah.
But the other police officers who went from the north saw that he put the hands down and then reached them towards the other officers. So he probably retrieved a gun from his belt, right? This was their assumption, and so they fired a shot at him. He fell down. He's on the ground bleeding, right? And they have to clear the house before they allow the paramedics to come in.
Right.
That takes 17 minutes, and then they took the guy to the hospital, and he bleeds to death.
Right, because they waited too long.
Yeah. They didn't find any suspects. They cleared the house. They didn't find any suspects. They didn't find gasoline. They didn't find nothing.
Yeah, and so this is all really unfortunate. This is something that didn't have to happen. This is reprehensible. That
and the attitude of the swatter, right? Here's
the
a quote
reason
from
it's
him.
reprehensible is what we're about what you're about to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a quote from the star of the show. "I didn't get anyone killed because I didn't discharge a weapon, and being a SWAT member isn't my profession." How much of a piece of shit do you have to be to utter these words?
Now, by the way, this is some douchebag in LA. So the reason he thinks this is because he's got this super urban psycho killery idea that cops' jobs are to murder people and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And so if they shoot someone, they shoot someone, whatever. That's not how it works.
Yeah. It's this technically correct kind of mindset. I technically didn't kill anyone.
And by the way,
but you fucking created the situation that killed someone.
And by the way, that's completely irrespective to how the law actually works.
Yeah. Technically, a machinist doesn't kill people who jump on the tracks.
Well,
because he just sits in the cockpit, right? He didn't see anyone. It's not his job.
Well, no. It's the I made the bomb that kills people argument.
Yeah.
And what they don't think about is there is a guy who hired the people who made the bomb. Mm-hmm. And that no one likes to talk about that guy. But in this situation, that guy got in trouble, and that's good. Mm-hmm. That's extremely good, because hopefully less of this shit happens now.
Yeah, and the worst part is he is called a swatter or something like that. That's his nickname. He does that. He's doing that notoriously.
Well, they haven't verified whether or not this is swatistic, but but the evidence heavily leans towards it being swatistic.
Yeah. These people should have the exact same punishment as if they actually killed someone. It's basically attempted murder through the hands of a police officer.
Absolutely, and so the cop that murdered him is on paid administrative leave. He's probably going to be reinstated pretty quick.
Yeah, the administrative leave is actually like a normal procedure whenever there's a shooting.
Well, they always do that. Yeah.
Yeah, when there's a shooting and someone dies, someone has to go on an administrative leave. It's basically the normal thing to do.
Yeah, because they're not really supposed to do anything like that.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, please let's, because I'm losing my faith.
Oh, it's extremely depressing, but we cleared it.
Yeah.
Civilization 6 is ramping up towards its February 8th release of Rise and Fall, the new expansion that they've been showing off. And in Rise and Fall, they've shown off the new Indian leader, because you're able to play different great leaders. For instance, when the game shipped, there was like 2 to 3 different ways to play Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's going to be... and I'm going to fuck up this name. My apologies to my 0 Indian listeners. Chandragupta. Oh, that wasn't that hard at all. Chandragupta. It just looked complicated. He's the new aggressive counterpart to Gandhi.
Because Gandhi is not aggressive at all.
Absolutely, because we needed an Indian leader that was more aggressive than Gandhi. Thank you. We really needed that.
The warmonger Gandhi.
the anachronistic like secret Gandhi that only Civilization players know.
Yeah, we need to make a game called Secret Gandhi.
And they're like, is it Secret Hitler? Well, sort of, but not in the way you think.
It's a secret Hitler, but with atomic weapons.
And yeah, Gandhi was many things, but he was mostly a pacifist.
Until he discovered the atom.
Yeah, until he gets atom bombs, then he lets them fly. So Chandra Gupta, I got it. I'm trying. Is war focused. His ability lets him declare wars and then get a like bonus in the first couple of turns. So he's able to like really blitz in with his war elephants.
Mm-hmm.
And in total, the new expansion promises a lot of new content. Great Ages are going to be available, and so Golden Ages were in the last game, so we're finally starting to get the last couple of features that have been in Civilization, but they decided to, put back in.
Yeah, it's basically the Sims dilemma. Whenever the new Sims comes out, it's stripped out from all the content that previous Sims amassed.
Yeah,
and it's basically all that content is refed to you in packages over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's very sad. That's why Sims has kind of died out recently. So there are the Golden Ages from the last game, right? But there are also Dark Ages, which at first sound like horrible punishment. And yes, they kind of are. But at the end of the Dark Age, you get a Heroic Age, where you get to like recuperate from what happened. So you get debuffed, and then strong buff. Cities now have loyalty. They can become free cities and rebel against you.
But you can reappropriate them in time peacefully.
Yeah,
so that's nice.
Yeah, you're able to get the loyalty back through acting peacefully, or you can just conquer them again. There are now emergencies. So, kind of like in Stellaris, where if there's a very strong country, the other countries will form alliances against them. So now this is going to be in Rise and Fall, because the AI kind of does this automatically, unofficially. Like, if a player gets too strong, they all band against them and go, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're not AI. Fuck you. Only the AI are allowed to be strong. Fuck you. And we're like, God damn it. No. Stop. No.
No, stop. Go away. Leave me alone.
And now there's, like, global emergencies. Like, the example they gave is when the first nuke flies, the whole world is like, oh, wow. That sucked. Let's not.
Let's never do that again.
Because nukes in this game suck. It creates a radiation cloud that, like, actively kills people for several turns and just fucks up their entire, like, country.
I guess you really need to get the scrubbing going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can nuke them back to the Stone Age. It's actually very entertaining. 9 new leaders and 8 new civilizations. And so we already knew that the 9th leader is an alternate for India.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're getting 8 new civilizations, and that's always cool because something that they have learned is that Civilization games thrive on the random content. They really do. It's the stories that come out of the randomization. That's why the Dominion series by Illwinter Games is like my favorite, because it's a D&D strategy game, and there's all of the RPG depth there that's being played out in the game as it's happening, and it's super entertaining. Because all of a sudden you'll go, why is my dude so different? You'll right click on him and he's like got 3 permanent wounds and he's like part of the Hall of Heroes, so he has legendary obesity, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, not all of the heroic hall abilities are good. Some of them are like stupid. You could be heroically obese and just have extra hit points.
There was like a king from Polish,
that really happened.
Polish history, who was apparently so fat that he fell from a horse, broke his leg, and his leg never was able to fully heal because of how fat he was.
So basically, picture someone like Gabriel Iglesias on a horse.
Fatter.
Fatter than Gabriel Iglesias? I mean, no offense to the man, but that's a big guy.
Yes.
That is a large man, indeed. Oh, by the way, civilizations. Enhanced alliances, new civilizations. Ooh, 8 new world wonders and 7 natural wonders. And the thing about world wonders in Civilization 6 is there are prerequisites for building them based on the amount of the different tiles and resources available to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a mad rush from wonder to wonder all the time, which I really like. There are wonders that you can be like, okay, I know for a fact I'm probably going to get this wonder because it's hard to get the conditions for it. So I'm happy new wonders are coming. The natural wonders I also like because they're so pretty. They're so pretty and they're so useful. I wonder if there will be like Sphinx. No, well, the Sphinxes aren't natural wonders, huh?
Yeah, I would assume that they would be like along with the pyramids, like come in the package.
Actually, I think the Egyptians built Sphinxes.
Yes, they did. They built at least one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, in Civilization, I think that. Quick research break. Civilization 6.
I know that they definitely
Cleopatra.
built pyramids. That's definite. But Sphinxes, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, well, Cleopatra doesn't build them. I don't think Sphinxes are in Civilization 6. Oh well. On to answers that nobody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Luckpack writes, by the rules, most DMs award too little experience. Because the 5th edition Masters, the 5th edition Dungeon Master's Guide on page 261 says that a good rate of session-based advancement is to have characters reach 2nd level after the first session of play, 3rd level after another session, 4th after 2 more sessions, and then it goes at a 2 or 3 session rate. So, which means is after 4th level, you level up about once a month.
Makes sense.
So, some might think it's too quick, but you don't really get max level very often in D&D.
Yeah, apparently there was some research done in this area, and it turns out that most people never reach like the mid-tier.
Yeah, because the thing about Wizards of the Coast is they put a lot of marketing power and research behind 5th edition. Because those of you that remember D&D Next, it was very different. It played a lot like 4th edition. It was combat focused, and it wasn't very good. And then they took advice, and they refined it, and they finally came out with 5th edition, and it was good. But the thing,
and he saw the 5th edition and saw it was good.
And so the thing is, historically, people don't usually get to max level anymore. And this is because groups peter out, something happens, people might get bored.
And usually whenever there's a GM, he tells you to create a new character for the adventure that he prepared, because he wants to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And your 10th level fighter isn't going to really fit, since everybody else is going to start at
right, because you instinctively want to keep the party at the same level. So Xanathar's Guide to Everything on page 135 mentions that you're actually supposed to give out far more magic items than what people expect. You're supposed to have 100 of them at 20th level.
Ooh.
And so you're actually supposed to be giving out magic items every session, apparently. Not a lot of them, but there should be at least a magic item given out every session. It doesn't really say this, but it's inferred by the table they provide. So it becomes clear that Wizards of the Coast intended for players to get many more new toys, much more often than is normally awarded in regular play. I agree with them and think this would result in more rewarding and enjoyable sessions. So he also edited it later and said that Mike Merles, the co-creator of D&D 5th edition, said that the reason there aren't published adventures over level 15 is because the studies show that most people don't actually get to that level. Not for lack of desire, but time pressure, usually. So they have research to back this up. That people don't typically get to that level. And so the thing is they are Xanathar's Guide to Everything, if anything, was built to combat this. Complex traps now give XP. They're fucking hard to fight, but if you beat a complex trap, you now get experience points. The magic item chart also comes with like 30 or so really common basic magic items that mostly are just trinkets and are useless in combat, but kind of just are fluffy and cool. Like there's armor that never stops being shiny. There's a helmet that makes your eyes glow red.
Basically vanity items.
Yeah, there are a bunch of vanity items. There's also magical beads that act as rations.
Now that I think about it, there's when it comes to failure in D&D, there's actually someone who suggested to me a very interesting idea that even if someone, let's say you fail to disarm a trap, right?
Right.
Or open a lock. There are two options that you can take as a GM. You can say you failed, but the story continues. For example, you failed to open the lock, but you found out that in order to open it, you have to go do a puzzle in a different room, right?
Right.
And then there's also you succeed, but there's a consequence to your success. So, for example, you managed to open the lock, but the lock was cursed, and now your character is cursed. So you technically succeeded in opening, but there is a consequence to it. For example, it doesn't have to be cursed, it can be just you tripped down an alarm, and there's an encounter on the other side. What do you think about that?
Well, absolutely. There's the whole the whole thing about that is that's all kind of dungeon construction stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all important to improv. It really is. Because you need to be able to say yes and, but there's also the no. No's exist in D&D. In the form of you jam the lock, or you see that the ladder is way too rotten for you to get down that way. No's exist, but they're soft no's. But what I find interesting about this post is that there are a lot of people that are accusing him of, like, heresy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a bunch of posts going, "What are you trying to say? Are you suggesting that our players are wrong? Are you complaining about our game?" And I'm like, "What, dude? Guys, relax." He's just pointing out that, on average, GMs are too stingy.
Yes.
That's fine. You can make that argument. Because we're trying to combat the min-maxy power fantasy thing that overwhelmed the hobby about 5 to 10 years ago. Because that was rampant in the older editions, is people with power fantasy through everything, and it wasn't very fun. So instinctively, we've toned everything down. So it's gonna.
I believe that every edition of D&D has some sort of broken combo that exists. Like, I believe that 5th edition has the summoning of 5 fairy T-Rexes.
What?
Yes. Apparently, as a druid, you can summon fairies and then cast polymorph on them so that they turn into T-Rexes. And then you have T-Rexes on your command.
That sounds stupid, but okay.
Yeah, it's apparently possible. It's basically one of those broken combos.
But yeah, so Xanthar's guide provides the magic items, and the chart's really useful because it tells you on average how many magic items every person should have at certain levels, and that helps guide you to feel more comfortable giving out a few more items. Because it's not about doing it right. It's about what you're comfortable in handling. You don't want the players to run amok. But that's this question, and that's our show.
Thank you all for visiting our show. for this year. It's been a wonderful year, and let's hope for another wonderful year, another wonderful one.
Yeah, let us look forward to 2018, where net neutrality is dead. There's an evil Oompa Loompa in the U.S. President's office. There's a tax plan that's going to enrich all of the people that have already most of the wealth anyway. Yeah, look forward to all of that. But at least we'll have cool VR technology, right? And that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.